Well, today here on BikeGeeks, what we're going to do is we're going to take this guy out of the box and get it set up and installed on my van here. This is the Kuat NV 2.0 2-bike hitch rack. So let's get into it. So welcome back to BikeGeeks. So we're going to go ahead and actually open up the box here. We're going to see exactly how it actually shipped to me. I purchased this from Kuat. I was looking for a bike rack that went hitch-wise. So I actually just got a Tesla Model 3, and I'm not going to put the roof rack on just because the efficiency factor and a whole bunch of things. One that could actually pair between both my Tesla and my van, depending on what we were doing. So I'm really a huge fan of what Kuat's going on with the NV. This is not a brand new rack, obviously. They go for $849, and you can expand this into up to a 4-bike. The 4-bike won't work on my Tesla, will definitely work on my van, but we're just doing the 2-bike today. So let's see exactly how it comes, and let's get it put together. Let's see how easy it is to put together. Okay, let's see how she comes. I have not opened it at all yet, so I'm really looking forward to this. Especially because it actually came over a week ago, and I gotta wait to make the video. So, alright, so we got a box here, we'll go through that here in a second. Some pieces here in a bag. Got it, okay, set that there. These heavier pieces, I'm going to take a heavy open part that I don't want them to get all scratched up. So, in reality, I could probably pull them off as I needed them, but I want to see what's in the bag, or in the box, how it all comes. So 2 of these guys, 1 for each side apparently, right? And then 2 of the other side of the tray right here. And, alright, that looks like everything that's there. So I'm going to slide this out of the way. Let's go through the box here. Some straps. Okay, that's the tilt mechanism, I believe. Set that over there. Alright, so we have a kind of open, I think that's part of the repair stand or whatever you call it, right? Set that there. And look at that, nice burlap sack, kind of. Alright, what's in here? So, the bolts, comes the lock pin with key, and look at that, nice little bottle opener keychain. Plug of some sort. So there's that, I'll leave that in that box. And there's an actual Allen wrench in here. It should be, I'm hoping. Maybe not. I may also, oh no, there's the Allen wrench for that. So it does come with the tools necessary to install it, at least to that point. If I need an extra tool, I'll definitely call it out. But otherwise, I guess let's get into the instructions and see what we need to do first. Okay, so this is the book that was in the bottom of the box. So it looks like we're going to start step 1. We're going to actually put this in the vehicle eventually here, but it looks like we have to actually stick this in from the back side. So, and then cap off the back side there. So let's start with step 1. Okay, what it meant, it actually wasn't going in, it was getting this out. So we have to pull this guy out and just have it in there for shipment reasons, I'm assuming. So now that's out. I can either leave the Allen wrench in or take it out, whatever works. But we're going to take this cap and just cap that guy off. Now I actually probably should be able to stick this in the receiver's hitch of my van and actually build it off of the hitch. Okay, so we should be able to just take this. I'm probably not going to do anything other than just tighten this up. I'm assuming that's what this guy does, just tighten her up, right? There we go. I'm not going to put the pin in or anything. That way if I need to pull it out, I can real quick. But yeah, I'm just going to do that, and then we can work on it from there. Alright, for step 3, we're actually going to need the 3 long bolts and the 4 nuts. And we're taking the trays and actually aligning them on here. It looks like that where that kind of that silver piece is down there, right down there. I don't know how well that's going to focus real quick. There we are. That's what we're going to use to align. And yeah, Kuat logo will be farthest from the hitch, so the one furthest towards the end, I guess. So that's next. So we have 2 parts. We have obviously we're the wheel side with the arm, and then we have the other side, which is just the tray part. Now this is the tray part that does not have the Kuat label on it. That's going to be the one that goes closest to the van. However, there is the bolt, and then there's the nut on the arm side, the one with the actual tensioning arm. It does actually have a hex hole. I don't know how well you can see that. So the nut will actually go in and actually hold itself, so you don't have to have a wrench. This guy's going to basically go essentially like this, I guess. This is the best way to put it. And yeah. And then the other one's going to go opposite. So let me, it's going to be a little harder, obviously, by myself. But let's see what I can do. Okay, looking at this a little bit further, the one that actually, you can see where the one that actually has Kuat, that's going to be on the outside. But essentially you want the Kuat facing down, but when you put the rack up, you can read it. So that's going to have to be on this side of the rack, which means the first side on towards the vehicle is going to have to be this one, because the arm does not go on the vehicle side, it goes on the away from the vehicle side. So that's this one. This one also came with a bolt already taped to it. I don't know why that is, but oh, I see why. Because there's the arm, you can't get it in. Haha. All right, so that's why it's there. And now I can take the nut off. And it looks like it goes one this way and then the other bolt this way. So what we're gonna do is feed this through all the way through. And while I'm holding this, this is gonna be the hard part, is getting this to align properly without help. Alright, let me take a peek here, see if there's something I can... It'd be a lot easier if I could have something to hold this up while I'm putting this side on. It's going to make it a lot easier if I have a box. Hopefully the box that it came with. Let me move the tripod real quick. So I just put half the box in and use some of the foam to essentially kind of just hold it up. Right, do a little bit better. Then with me just holding it by hand. That's my second hand, I guess, as it is. And I need the Allen wrench for that here, so I'll put that here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this one started too. So this one's opposite, this one goes this way. There we go. Now I'll put one nuts in here. Now this side I'll have to hold because I don't have a second box, but that's alright. That I can do with my leg. It might be easier actually to do it on the ground upside down. Now that I'm thinking about it. Thankfully this Allen wrench has a ball end on it, so you can go at an angle. Okay, that's one side. Now the other side. Okay. For the next one, we're actually putting the pivot lever in, which basically we need the pivot lever itself, and then the bolt and washer that comes in its own separate little bag. I'm gonna grab those. Okay, so if you're doing it from my perspective, where I have it on the vehicle, this black hex right here is actually what the lever goes onto, so we can put it on there. So you should be able to, the lever should pop out so you can grab it from the top, and then that should be from below, right? So then we have the bolt that came there with the lock washer, goes on there, screw it into place, and then go ahead and just tighten it. That's the easiest step so far. Okay, so that should be that. They say in the instructions there should be about an inch gap between this guy and that, so we're exactly where we need to be. Okay, now we're on step 5. So we're going to put the dock clamp, the trail dock clamp onto the trail dock post. So we're just going to screw that clamp mechanism onto that post we pulled out at the very first step. And then after that, we'll actually take the whole assembly, slide it into the end. So use the end cap plug to keep debris out when the trail dock is not installed. So that's what that plug was that we saw as well. Okay, let me grab that. So these are the two pieces here, this guy here, and then this guy here. And it should just go on the end here and screw. Alright. Okay, we got that. And then this mechanism here can slide into the end here. Alright. Let's see if I have to put it down. Oh, there she slides, just nice and tight. Okay, there's that, and then if we're not using that, there is a cap. So that's your choice whether or not that's what you want to do. So I'm going to point out two things. These guys here, which is one adapter piece. This is actually a 20 to 24 inch bike adapter because I assume that these arms are just too big for that size of a bike. So if you have a 20 to 24 inch bike, it does come with one tire adapter kit for that. And then if you have a fat bike, this is basically a longer strap for the tire side here because this is not going to be big enough for a fat tire bike. It does come with one of those fat bike adapters too. If you have more than one that you're putting on here, you may have to pick up another one of these. If I can find the links, I'll put it down in the description as well for that. Lastly, for the parts in the bag at least, we already talked about it briefly. So we have the actual pin that goes through the vehicle and the locks for that pin. So there is a nice, looks like a nice dust cover cap. It's not attached to it, so if it does come off, then you're going to lose that. So a lock cylinder there, just to remove it from the pin and to go on the vehicle. Let's see if you have to have the key to lock it. Sometimes that's annoying. Nope, you don't have to have the key to lock it, so I do like that. I appreciate that. I understand why they do it the other way, but all right. So I'm going to keep this off, but that does go in your vehicle before you actually haul with this. I just have it tightened on the hitch right now. So that's that. Also, in each of these caps here is the cable to secure your bike. So if you pull it out, you have the lock mechanism here, which I'm assuming, pull this cap off. That's a cap that doesn't want to come off. I'm assuming it's the same key. Yep, it's the exact same key as the one that goes on the hitch. So all the bikes and everything are keyed the same. Definitely keeps grit out of there, but this essentially allows you to wrap around the bike itself and then lock back on the mechanism. And then when you're not using it, you just slide this back down into the tray, out of the way. Okay, so just before we put any bikes or anything on it, let's go over everything. So this mechanism here allows you to tilt away so that you can actually get into the back of your vehicle. And I'd like to try that with a bike on that first one as well. And then also you should be able to put it all the way up with no bikes on, and then you should be able to read Kuat because we put that in the right location. So that is that. Okay, there is a lever right here that tightens and loosens that. There it is. I may need a little bit of tightening, to be honest about it. But that's just a small amount. So, yeah, and then you can lock it down. Let's grab a bike. Let's see how this looks. Okay, so first step, I'm going to go ahead and release this. Keep that open, since that's going to have to be obviously for the wheel. The rear wheel. Set this guy in there. Alright. And then this guy, mechanism there. So yep, it's a lever that you push it in, right out, right down. And there's the this can slide along the rail here to find the best location to go through. And that is that. You know, the big thing is this is a carbon frame bike, so I didn't want to use any kind of frame holding at all. There we go. Now, let's see if I can still open that, the back side with the hitch, with the rack on. Okay, I actually put the pin in and tightened it down. Now we're ready. I think it might actually do it now. Yes. No. So it does hit my handlebars, but I can at least get in there a little bit. I've never really actually ever had a rack that fully allowed me to open the backside of my van. Of course, it all depends on the vehicle you have, right? How wide that comes out. A lot of SUVs, the hinge is much further forward, so it kind of comes more almost straight up. Where with the van, it does not. The hitch is almost, or the pin is almost straight above it. So that's the NV2 by Kuat. Last thing I wanted to test out as well. So if I unlock it like that, bring it down, unlatch the rear, and pull this guy off. Bring this guy back in, and I'm assuming you drive down the road probably like that, right? So it's not ever going to flop down. If I bring this guy up, and I'll probably put the wheel down as well. There we go. Alright, bring that guy like that. Undo that latch. Now, we have a bike rack, or a bike repair stand. And in this case, I'm going to do it like this. And now I can work on my bike. Of course, I'm backwards right now, but I just did this just real quick to showcase it. I usually like having the gears on the outside so I can work on them. But that's it. It proves the point, right? How it actually works. Yeah. This is awesome. Let's go one more time from repair stand mode to actually put the bike back on the rack. So bring this guy in, tighten it back up. Undo the lock lever. Slide this guy back down where I want it. Lock it back down. Lever, bring that down, the arm out, extend it all the way, and then this guy, if you find a way to, it's the only thing that I would want is something to kind of hold it off to the side, but either way, I can just grab that with the bike tire. Not a big deal. This is the side I'm going to probably always do first, because it'll hold it. Then I can work on getting this guy exactly where I want it. That's it. Of course, at the same time, pull the lock out, go around the frame, and now I have my bike locked to my rack locked to my van. The only thing on here that's not locked is the repair stand. So if you're in an area that could potentially have that stolen, take that guy out. That'd be the only thing that would be the kind of cool thing that they could fix, is lock that in so that can't be removed. So yeah. Did want to showcase the on and off real quick. So right now it's on. I actually have it locked and everything. So first I'm going to take my key. I took the dust cap off of that. Back here, and I don't know how well you can see it in the video, I apologize, but I'm just removing the lock cylinder on the pin. So I can take the pin out. I'm just going to lock that to itself for a second. And then loosen this guy right here. And now we can actually grab on low on the rack and remove it to the vehicle. Same thing as the opposite, obviously. You're going to put this in, but this time, it's best to put the pin in first. So You're going to find the hole, which actually is right about there. You're going to put the pin through. You're going to put the lock mechanism on that side, and then you're going to crank this guy down until she's nice and tight. There we go. And then we're good to go. So yeah, obviously I didn't put that back on, but good to go. So this was actually stuck to one of the boxes too, the last thing here. So if we open this guy up, oh, a nice little card here. Accessories that you can get, so it tells you about the accessories. Welcome to the Kuat family. Oh, there's our warranty card. And then some stickers. Stickers are always appreciated. So that is the Kuat NV2 rack. This is the 2-bike. You can add a third or even up to a 4th bike on there depending on what add-on you add. That's something I'm probably not going to do, to be honest about it. Not so much that I can't, it's that my Tesla that I have, I don't think I could add more than I could maybe do one more, but that's about it. And most of the time we're probably only going to do 1 or 2 bikes on that anyway. So for now I'm going to stick with the 2-bike. I love the repair stand feature, and I love how fast and easy it is to get the bike on there and lock it up. That's the big thing. It's not grabbing onto the frame. I think this is going to be a big plus over what I've been using in the past. So that is the NV2. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video if you can for me. Head over to thebikegeeks.com if you're interested. Otherwise, catch you back here on BikeGeeks for another future video, install, setup, review, whatever it is. So, I'll see you soon.